What's up, everyone? Juke by Life here, starting a new series on Surviving Mars. I played Surviving Mars a little bit, got like 90 hours in the game or something, but it's a lot of fun, and lately I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I do have most of the DLC. I'm missing, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a planetary trading one. I don't have that DLC. I do have the green one where you can plant stuff, Green Planet, and I also have Project Leica. I don't have many mods installed, in fact only one, which is a speed control, and one of these doesn't work. I'm not sure which one. One of them is from Paradox and the other one is Luke H's, so those are the only mods I have just so I can speed the game up a little bit more. I'm going to be starting a new game here, and normally I focus a little more on research early on. Actually, that's like all I do. I build like one dome and just try and research everything. But I think this time I might try to kind of expand a little bit more and not focus on research as much. As far as the sponsor goes, I usually choose Europe. I love the research per soul. The 400 research per soul is amazing. And if you haven't played the game, I guess I'll try to explain things a little bit. Your sponsor is basically how hard it is to start out, so it's kind of your starting difficulty, and each one gives different benefits and whatnot. And Europe gives, as you could, I mean, you can go through and read them all if you'd like, but Europe has okay funding. It's not great, but the research per soul, the 400 research per soul, is really amazing, and gaining funding every time a tech is researched. This is probably why I focus on research so much, is because I always go Europe. But I'm wondering if I should go with something else. I don't know if I want to try a hard one. I'm not very experienced with the game yet, so I probably won't be able to do one of the harder ones. You know what? I'm just gonna go with Europe. I'm just gonna stick with what I know. So I'm gonna start off with 400 base research per soul, which is basically like a day, so per day. I'm gonna get 3 starting rockets, really? I thought I only had 2 starting rockets. Huh. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get 400 per soul. I'm going to start off with $6 billion to spend there. I'm going to get 5 extra starting technologies. I'll explain the technologies once we get into trade. Yeah, and I'm going to gain funding every time I research something. Now, as far as the commander profile, I usually go with City Mayor. It gives me 2 billion additional funding, and the buildings requiring upkeep less often is like, that's great, because it's just going to be great all game. It's never gonna kind of wear it out and be useless, whereas some of these kind of do. Doctor's not bad. Behavioral shaping is not too bad. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with the City Mayor. It's just always a solid choice. So I'm just gonna go with my standard stuff here. And then I usually choose Biorobot. I love Biorobots, by the way. Yeah, and let's go ahead and start. So I think I'm just going to leave everything as it is. Sometimes I'll take away the orbital probes here and I'll spend it on something else. But I kind of want a good starting area, so I'm going to use the orbital probes to give me that. Let's just hit random here until we get something relatively hard, but also not too hard. A lot of dust storms here. That could be problematic. And there's a lot of resources. Some meteors, some dust doubles. Not really a lot of cold waves. Let's go ahead and go here. That's fine. And right off the bat, I'm actually going to wait a little bit before I actually send people from Earth, which I think is probably pretty normal. I don't know. I've never actually watched any playthroughs. Well, actually, that's not true. I watched like one when it was still in beta, but I haven't really watched from there. So first thing I'm going to do is hit H and select my researches. So these are all the tech trees, and then you know, everything you can research. And as you research one, it will unlock a new technology. So say I research this, right? Once that finishes, a new technology will be unlocked, and they're not always in the same order. So you know, you're not guaranteed to get them. The first thing I'm going to do is do the researches that give me more research points per soul. So currently I'm at 400. This one gives me an extra 100 per RC Explorer I have, which I'm going to have one of those. And then I'm going to go over here to the funding because I know that there's another research bonus over here in the social tab. So I'm gonna try and unlock that first. Hopefully I get it on the 3rd, and then I'm gonna unlock Logi. Actually, we'll go with the rocket cargo so I can send more down. Okay. And that's fine. We'll start right there. Let me get rid of all this stuff. So, oh wow, we actually started with the water deposit, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's nice, but it's also kind of meh. All right, so one thing you want to do when you land your rocket, you want to make sure that you have concrete and metal within range of this outer barrier here. So I'm just going to go ahead. Oh, I'm going to land it over here, actually. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to set up a concrete extractor right here. Now, it doesn't have to be like directly over it. You really just has to be barely touching it. You can see over on the right the status, because there's none of the required resource. If I just click it over, it says boom, 1,103, which is exactly how much is here. So it doesn't have to be directly over it, just has to be barely inside. And I think I'm just going to kind of put this out of the way down at the bottom here. Okay, and then we're going to need some solar panels to start because... Oops. Why did that happen? Because we're going to need power to power this thing. And you don't have any materials to build anything aside from solar panels. You need to harvest some concrete first, so we'll get that going. Let's go ahead and speed it up once here. I'm also going to want a sensor tower. Yeah, the solar panels, I mean, you can click on them and see what they all do. You can see they generate 5 power, they cost 2.4 metal, and they have a maintenance as well, 1 metal. So I'm not going to really explain any of that, but yeah, so we got our concrete going. The next thing we're going to want to get going is fuel, because we're going to want to be able to refuel our rockets and send them back kind of as soon as possible. I also forgot to scan. So you can see we've got this grid looking area here. We can actually scan each one of these. So I'm just going to scan the surrounding ones to start. And you can queue up to 9 starting. Yeah, we got 9. So you can queue up to 9 blocks at once, and it'll scan each one in the order that you set them up. Okay, so concrete. Let's go ahead and speed it up here. Oh, I'm going to need a power accumulator, which is essentially a battery. And one thing I forgot to mention was you actually want to set your equipment outside of this ring. Because like refineries and extractors and things, they actually kick up dust when they're working, and anything inside this ring will require more maintenance, which I think this is slightly inside. So when you're setting things up, you want to set them up outside of that ring, which is why this is kind of far away. I messed up and put the sensor tower in here, but it won't matter because there's a sensor tower tech right here, which makes them no longer require power or maintenance. So I'll eventually research that and it won't matter. Okay, so we've got our battery, we've got our solar panels, which I'm going to shut off here because it's about to hit nighttime. Let's go ahead and slow it down. Actually, we can... we'll leave it there for now. Alright, so we're going to need a universal depot, kind of just to move everything out of the rocket. And another thing I'm going to do is set up multiple concrete depots over here.
Resources are low.
1, 2, 3 of them, so I can store just a bunch of them. And we're going to need a dumping site as well for the waste rock that the concrete extractor produces. Not much you can do with waste rock to begin with, but later on you can use it. So here's like a random event. These things happen. There's also a mystery event, which is I chose random, so it'll just be a random mystery. And basically things will happen on the planet and you'll get bonuses or other things. So I received a package with the letter. So this reveals a tech for me. And I think I'm going to go with Superior Cables and Pipes, which makes pipes and cables free, and they require no maintenance. Or not maintenance, they can't break. Yeah. Pipes don't suffer from leaks, yeah. So instant and free pipe construction, and they don't suffer from leaks. That goes the same for cables. So I'll research those eventually. I really like those because like meteor storms and things that hit, if they hit your wires, it's like no big deal. Your drones don't go on a repairing spree. They repair all these wires that just get hit again. But yeah, there's like meteor storms and dust storms and cold waves and things. A lot of natural disasters. All right, so we've got our concrete going. So this is sort of the little base setup that I like to do. Now I want to start working on fuel. And because I have a water up here, I'm going to start sending the fuel up here. But first, I start with a drone hub.
Sector scan.
Drone hubs are essentially, you can see this outer ring. Drone hubs house drones, and they repair, build, etc. anything within inside this ring. So I want to build this sort of in the center of where I plan to build my colony type deal. And I know I'm going to have a water extractor up here. And I've got a rare metal deposit over here and another water over here. So I'm thinking putting my drone hub somewhere around here. And I don't know if I want to place it right now. And that's mainly because there's an upgrade for the drone hub, which when you build them, they get 2 additional drones. So I might wait for that to place it. And I'll probably place it right here. Notice that the waters aren't inside the drone hub. Let me pause it right here. You can see you don't need the water deposit to actually be inside, because I come over here and build it's not there, water extractor. And it's got sort of this inside blue ring. That's where the water has to be. So I can do something like that. And even though the water itself is not inside the drone hub range, the extractor will be, and that's all that all needs. So that's probably where I'll build it. Again, I'm not going to build it right now because I want to get the research. So I've started off with 5.7 bill here. I usually like to outsource some research. So you have to pay a little bit of money. I'm going to pay 1 billion to get 5,000 research over the next 5 souls. So it'll give me an additional 1,000 research per soul for 5 souls. I'll spend $1 billion there. It just kind of helps the colony get established a little bit quicker. We've got another rare metal down here. That's nice. Another water as well. What the heck? This place is loaded. No
Research
actual metal
complete.
yet, though, which is a little
Resources
concerning.
are low.
Because rare metals you don't really need early on, but regular metals you do. So I'm slightly worried about that. Oh, I forgot about my freaking orbital probes. Okay, well, let's just scan that area. I don't really know where I want to scan now. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point because I've already decided where to set up my colony. Normally the only reason I use these is if my starting area, like my first couple scans, don't reveal anything. But this is like a juicy spot. We've got 3 water deposits. They're all very low. And 2 metal deposits, so that's really good. So the grade here represents how much you're going to get out of it. I think with every draw, I'm not sure exactly how it works. But I know you get more with a higher grade, so... Yeah, there's 7,000 water in there. But I think it only generates like a very low amount when I have a pump hooked up to it. I'm not sure exactly. I'm just gonna shut up because I don't know. Then I have these little anomalies on the ground that I can shift queue up tasks to scan, so I can right click and then shift right click the other one.
Sector scan.
And my little
found.
RC Explorer is gonna run over there and give me some bonus research for this one. This one will reveal a new technology for me. All right. So we're doing the Mars crowdfunding. So a one-time grant of $1 billion, that's good. And then fuel compression. So I'm hoping that the grant of $1 billion, once that's done researched, it will unlock.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
It will unlock this. That is not it. That is not what I want. But you know what? I'll research it anyway. And we also didn't get the reduction in fuel for the rockets, which is what I'm looking for in engineering care. So the first 2 trees I'm really going to be focused on is social until I get the research, and engineering until I get the fuel. And then I'll probably go into robotics and a little bit of physics, and then biotech mainly. But we'll focus on that later. Let's get going. Okay. I think I'm just going to send my rocket down. Normally, I'd wait for the cargo. Normally, I'd wait for the... Oh, the cargo is done. Never mind. So yeah, now it's time to send the rockets. So I already have a explorer, so I'm gonna send an RC commander, which is essentially a mobile drone hub, and then an RC transport, which can go grab resources and bring them back all over the map. And then because I have so much water, I'm not gonna send any moisture vaporators, which pull water out of the air. Normally I send like 3 of these, but because I have so much water, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm just mainly going to send building materials here. So I'm going to send polymers and electronics and machine parts. And I'm going to send just the maximum of those. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to be producing these right off the bat, but I don't really have any maintenance either.
Sector
So
scanned.
it's not as if I'm going to be losing them very quickly.
Anomaly analyzed.
But there's some planetary anomalies that, oh, there it is. So this is the bonus research I was looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and control click that, put it to the top of the list. And then once that's done, we're good on the research, at least for a little bit. So I'll be up to like 600 research, I think, for a while. And then once I unlock the planetary anomalies, we'll be able to do one more, which will unlock another 400 research per soul.
Resources are low.
But it will cost 100 electronics, which is, you know, not great, but for the research it's definitely worth it. Continue to scan things here. We are on max speed. Sometimes I wish I could go a little bit quicker, but
Sector scanned.
I don't know. 10 times is pretty fast. Okay, so fuel. I should probably think about where I'm going to set my fuel up. So I guess we'll just water extract this guy here. Just bam, that's fine, and that's going to be kind of right on the edge. So I'm still going to have moisture evaporators, just not as many. So I need to kind of think about where this is going to be.
Research complete.
And this should be able to hit all water. So yeah, we'll be fine. Here's my other rockets.
Resources
so
are low.
I'll just land it right here. The rockets act like drone hubs
Sector
while they're
scanned.
landed, so I can build in this range. So it's kind of staggering rockets will give you more building space. Research. What am I going to next? Drone hubs are constructed with 2 additional drones, and the maximum number of drones is increased by 80. So I want this one. I actually don't even care about Live from Mars right now, but it's fine. Let's do both of these. Oops. I don't want them at the top. I want to do the drone swarm. And then once that's finished, I'll build my drone hub. But yeah, I'm not going to start on the fuel or anything until I have my drone hub down, because I like to put it right on the edge and leave sort of all the middle area for domes and things. I guess that's something I didn't really touch on. When you bring like survivors down, they actually live in domes and things. They can't live outside. Well, not at first. You can do some terraforming things and start to make the planet habitable for us humans. 2044, right? That's what they say. For us to start colonizing Mars.
Sector scanned.
So this will be good practice. What would you guys do? Would you guys, if you had the opportunity to go be like one of the first people to colonize Mars, would you go? I think that'd be crazy awesome to be like one of the first people on Mars to like you know, colonize it and things, but you'd have to be like a genius, which I am not. So
Research complete.
I'm SOL for that. What do I want to use for power? Okay, drone swarm's done, so I can build, let's slow it down for a sec. I can build my drone hub. Let's make sure. Right there is actually perfect. Alright, so we've got 3 waters in range of this thing, and we've got 2 rare metal. That's actually very high. That's an average. Okay. So yeah, we are really good. That's right. This thing's going to need power source. 1 wind turbine is going to be able to power this. And then I'm going to add a La la la. Sensor tower right here in the middle. Kind of keep everything neat and orderly. Okay, so we've got our drone hub. Now we can start on the fuel production.
Anomaly found.
So I'm going to start with moisture evaporator right in the corner. And the reason I do this is because moisture evaporators have to be separate from each other. Like, you can't just stack them right next to each other because they have this overlap penalty. Because if you have too many pulling moisture out of one area, then, you know, they're going to pull it too quick and there's not going to be enough. So you have to space them out a little bit. But I'm just going to place one right now because that's all I need in order to get this kind of going. So here's my fuel refinery, which I'm going to line up right with that there. Make sure I didn't... Hold on. Was that... Okay, it's lined up. I'm kind of anal about not working. Why isn't this working? Oh, the wind turbine isn't constructed. I think I need... Wait, you have what are you missing? You have concrete within range. Oh, I think I just need to speed it up.
Research complete.
Okay, so I can now build fuel refineries. All right, this is what I'm looking for. Rockets and shuttles require less fuel. So this is kind of the initial setup you need. Well, you don't need, but you want this to get going. And then we'll do the free pipes and cables and autonomous sensors so I can set the sensor towers up. What I didn't explain what sensor towers do. Well, what they do is they detect disasters and they also increase scanning speed. Pretty sure they increase scanning speed.
Sector
It doesn't
scan.
actually say it, but... Oh yeah, here it is. Boost scanning speed, especially for nearby sectors. So when you get the autonomous sensors, you can kind of just drive around with your commander and your transport, and you can just build sensor towers all over the place and just kind of uncover the map very quickly. We've got another anomaly over here, so we'll come uncover that and then drive back. So pretty good start so far. This still isn't being built, which I don't know why, because concrete's right over here. It's got its machine part.
Anomaly analyzed. Research complete.
Let me try
Anomaly
loading
found.
concrete. I don't know why. What if I just move it right over here? There. Okay, for some reason this was not picking up the concrete. I don't know why. Okay, so we've got our reduced fuel. Everything's good. So after the pipes and autonomous sensors, do I even care about autonomous sensors? I'm actually not going to do that this early. I'm going to start working on things for domes to make them better. So first, soil adaptation, so I can build farms, which are like amazing, and then low G high rise, so I can build apartments, which are also amazing. Without apartments, the complexes you can build only hold 14 people, but apartments will actually house 24, which is really nice. So what I'm going to do over here is we're going to set up a little bit of turbine, a little bit of wind turbine systems here. Just connect these like that, okay. And then we should probably put like one accumulator over here somewhere. I'm just going to smack it there. And then we need pipes right here. Okay. Alright, just need water going. There we go. So we're going to start generating a little bit of fuel. And one thing you have to be careful with about the fuel is if a meteor hits it, it will explode and blow up surrounding things. So you kind of need your fuel storage separate from everything else. Let me go ahead and shift queue up some tasks on my researcher here. And then bring it back after it's done. And now that I've kind of got everything established, I'm going to put down some depots. So I usually do 2 metal depots, 3 concrete depots, 1, 2, 3, and then polymer, just 1 of everything else, electronics,
Anomaly analyzed.
Machine parts. Oh, I already got electronics. Rare metals and food should be the last
Sector
one.
scanned.
Yeah, and I've already got my fuel over here.
There's more to the barren environs of the
Okay,
Red
so we
Planet.
just unlocked some things. Alright, so we've got fuel producing. We've got our storage set up. What I can actually do is get rid of these concrete storages. Because this drone hub's just going to pull it all over there anyway. Cool. I think I actually need a small generator or a small solar panel over here and to actually have enough to charge this
Research
battery.
complete. Anomaly analyzed.
Otherwise, this thing will
Milestone
shut down during the
achieved.
night. Okay, so free pipe construction done. Bunch of research done, essentially. Let's go back to scanning. At this point, where I'm scanning doesn't really matter because I don't want to scan the mountains, though. I'll scan the mountains very last because they're not going to have anything, and I'll only scan them out of annoyance of not having everything scanned. But also, if you scan everything, you get a research bonus, I'm pretty
Sector
sure.
scanned.
Okay. So how's the power production over here?
Dust
We're
storm
using
approaching.
way too much. We're not generating enough. So I'm going to go ahead and add another turbine or 2 or 3. There we go. And essentially I'm just going to have a row of vaporators here and like a row of turbines down here until I get some better stuff. Now, one bad thing that's going to happen right now is, well, not right now, in 21 hours, dust storm's approaching, but the moisture vaporator will actually shut down. I'm not generating fuel because these aren't connected. But the moisture vaporator will shut down during a dust storm, which means I'm not going to be producing fuel. So it's going to be a while before my rockets get off the ground. I also want to turn off exports here because what it'll do is it'll load your rare metals up and ship them back to Earth when you launch a rocket, and then it'll sell those
Research
for
complete.
funding. But I don't actually want to do that. Not that I have any rare metals right now, but you can find some through anomalies and whatnot. So one thing I can also do is take my researcher here, use this create transport route, and go to an area with like a lot of
Sector
metal. You can
scan.
see this little metal chunks on the ground here, and these are kind of scattered all throughout the planet. So you can take your transport and you can do this on an area, and then you can bring it back over to here,
Research
and it'll
complete.
harvest all this and bring it back and load it up to all this, to all your storages. Okay, so we unlocked our farms. We're now doing apartments. We should load up some more research here. I'm gonna go more for the biotech. I want to unlock better crops because the starting crops you have, they're not really that good. So the quicker you get to the better crops, the better. The more people you'll be able to support off one single farm. Yeah, see, all my solar panels, moisture vaporator, fuel refinery, none of this stuff's working during the dust storm, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to launch a rocket until this is over. So for 3 souls, I'm going to have to wait, basically. But that's going to be it for this episode. I think I explained a lot, I hope. I don't know. Hopefully the next few episodes will be more entertaining and less explaining as we get kind of used to everything. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you next time.